All right, welcome back to No Filter MMA. This is your boy BJ back. Told you guys I had a double hitting weekend this weekend. Today I am joined by top Invicta featherweight and title challenger Pam Bam Sorensen. How are you, Pam?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing pretty good as well. Thank you for joining me once again for the third time. So Pam, so catch everybody up. What have you been up to lately?
Just a lot. Training. I think since the last time we've been on, I fought Felicia Spencer. I lost that fight. And then about a month later, I had surgery, and recovery was was long and rough. But now I'm ready to get back.
Yeah, yeah. So you had this surgery, you had this mass removed from your abdomen. Tell everybody what led up to knowing that this thing was there, because I mean you were making weight, you were cutting weight, everything was going fine. I mean, what led you into go say, hey, something's not right?
Um, well, I'd known for a while that there was something going on. Like I had a pain that would come and go in my lower right side. It'd probably
Yeah.
been a year or so. Um, but since it went away and I passed all my pre-fight physicals and everything, I was like, oh, whatever. It probably is just something weird. And then right after New Year's, I just happened to come down with the stomach flu,
Hmm.
and I was talking with one of the guys from the gym who he works in the emergency room as a physician's assistant,
Hmm.
and he was like, if you can't keep anything down and you have a pain, like it could be appendicitis, or like you probably need to go into the ER.
Yeah.
And so went into the ER, and then I totally thought that I was just being a baby because
Right.
went in there, and they're like, "Well, you have a little fever, like nothing seems too off on your blood work or anything, but we're gonna do a scan anyways and see what's going on, maybe if something's going on with your appendix." And then they came back and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I mean,
Uh-oh.
your appendix is fine, but you've got like a big old like softball in there."
Ooh.
So
So go ahead, keep going. We're listening.
yeah, I mean, it was they knew right off the bat. They said it didn't look like it was cancer or anything, but they were like, I mean, there's always that slight possibility. And they were
Right.
like, we just think it's a giant ovarian cyst.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I had to go to my regular doctor. Um, Pretty much, it was like 2 days later, and they did an ultrasound, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, this thing needs to come out." And it was like the very next day. So like within 3 days, I had the stomach flu, went to the ER, found out I had it, and like 2 days later, I had surgery to have it removed.
Ooh. So I bet that was crazy when they told you, hey, well, you have to go in surgery right away.
Yeah, because I mean, they were like, "I can't believe you fought with that thing." I mean, that thing, it could have burst. It would have been really bad. But I mean, luckily the kind of cyst it was, they do get big,
Yeah.
but they're a little more durable.
Ooh. So so tell me, how much did that thing weigh, Pam?
When it came about 3.5 pounds.
Ooh. 3.5 pounds. So you had 3.5 pounds just just floating around inside your body like that.
Yeah, and it was crazy. Like I went back and I was like looking at my weigh-in pictures and whatnot. And I was like, how in the world did that? How did that even fit? I was like, where
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
But I guess how they work, your my abs would just push it in, and it just
Yeah.
kind of pushed up all the other organs and like my intestines and whatnot, and made room for itself.
So when this thing came out, you know what I'm saying, like, well, before you knew it was there, like, did it like fatigue you any? Like, were you getting fatigued? And like when you would do a hard sparring session, a hard workout session, or take hits there, could you feel anything there?
I could feel like I had a sensitive spot, but it wasn't like, I mean, getting hit in the liver hurt worse. It
Yeah.
was like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Probably just a little sensitive spot. But like I think the biggest thing that it threw off was like, so it was squishing up all my intestines and it was sitting on both my large and small bowel. So I would only go to the bathroom maybe once a week. And
Whoa.
yeah, and so I mean, and I had told fight doctors about that. I don't know how many times when I go in for my physical, and they're like, "Yeah, everybody's different." And
Wow.
yeah, and so with that, and then with it being so big, like I would get heartburn really easy, and I just kind of dealt with it.
Wow. Man. Pam's been through hell. So
Yeah.
so so tell us, as far as recovery, Pam, like, what was it like coming out of having such a, I mean, that was a pretty invasive surgery. So, how did it feel coming
Yeah.
out of that? Like in the
Um,
days after.
it was really rough. I remembered, I think it was they try so nowadays when you have surgery like that, even if you have like major heart surgery, they try to get you up and moving as fast as possible. And so I think probably about 12 hours after I got out of surgery, they were like, "Guess what time it is? It's time to get up. We got to try to walk a little bit." And I mean, it was awful because like you
Yeah.
think that like you can't like you use your core for everything.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were like, you can't use your core for anything. You can't use it to sit up. Somebody needs to help you sit up. And they're like, for 6 to 8 weeks, don't use it at all. But yeah, it was really rough. And then the ride home with the bumps and whatnot, I was like,
No.
yeah. So it was a struggle even after, I waited until I got cleared to start doing light activity. I went back and I was, trying to go on the treadmill and I like walking at a speed of like 2.5 and I was like, damn, like this hurts. It still hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it was rough and I had my times where I was like, maybe my fighting career's over, but I told my surgeon ahead of time that it was very important to me that I was able to continue to fight and she did everything she could to make sure that that was going to be possible.
Well, that's always good. Absolutely. Well, that's all that leads into, you got a big opportunity ahead of you, Pam. So, getting back into training and whatnot, you're fighting Caitlin Young and you fought her once in kickboxing. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So just give us an overview of, her as an opponent, as an MMA opponent. How do you feel, that this fight would be much different than the kickboxing fight? Because I mean, it's a total different ball game. You have takedowns, you have a whole bunch of other things that play into this.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Caitlin trains like 15 minutes away from me. We're both
Yeah.
area, so we know each other pretty well. We're friends, and we'll continue to be friends before and after the fight. But she definitely has a glaring hole in her game when it comes to the ground game. And so, I mean, she could have fixed things. I'm sure she's been working on it, but I mean, it is very different. Like she does in our kickboxing fight, she didn't have to worry about takedowns. Um, and that it was a while ago. I was just a little baby fighter then.
Yeah. Yep.
I've had I think 10 fights since then.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Exactly.
so yeah, I think it'll be very different, and I'm sure she's changed a little bit also. But I mean, I'm a very different fighter than I was back then.
So when officially does your training camp start? Like when do you start? When would you start revving up? Because the fight's not until when?
August 9th, so it's under
August.
5.
Oh, it's August. Okay. So you've already started your camp.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So how does it feel getting back into camp with everything you've been through? Your body's had a lot of time to rest. I mean, you were in a war with Felicia Spencer, and that was a war. So your body's had a lot of time to heal. How does it feel? How do you feel going into this fight camp?
It feels really good, and I almost prefer. So we knew about the fight. It was offered to me about a week before they announced it. Um, and I think in the long run that'll be better because I mean, when I fought Felicia Spencer, we came off of tough tryouts, not making it, and then they asked if I wanted to fight Felicia. So it was like training for tough, not making it, and then having like 5 months notice for Felicia. It was almost too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just kind of nice because I had some time after surgery and whatnot to clear my head, kind of recoup from everything that happened the last year, and I'm back, and I think I'll be better than ever.
Right, right. So do you, let's see. Because I got so many questions I want to ask you. So Invicta's offered you has offered you a second chance at the title shot. We've seen the trend here lately of what's been going on with Invicta champions. Invicta
Mm-hmm.
champions go right into the UFC. Like especially the featherweights that's kind of the trend. Do you see that as something that would continue on past this particular fight?
I mean, I hope so. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in the division with because the biggest name in there was Cyborg, and
Right.
then she got beat. And then, they had Megan Anderson that they were trying to build up, and then she got beat by Holly Holm, and then she got beat by Felicia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hopefully it'll be interesting after Cyborg and Felicia fight if they decide to keep the division and keep building it, or I don't know. So who knows if the next person who wins gets signed or not.
So pretty much what you're saying is, if you win this belt, you're down to defend your belt in Invicta, and you're
Mhm.
down to be a long reigning Invicta champion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I won't pass up the opportunity if the UFC calls, but I will be prepared to stay in Invicta and defend the title.
Absolutely. Nice, nice. So who do you see? And there's a lot of things going on right now the featherweight division is buzzing at the moment, and that's across many, many different organizations. How do you feel about this Felicia and Cyborg fight?
I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be so interesting because Cyborg's coming off a really quick loss, and then Felicia's coming off of like a really big win. So it's like, who knows where Cyborg's head is at? When Felicia is probably still on cloud 9, and then yeah, I don't know. I don't know who to root for because like part of me wants Felicia to win because I fought her and I think she's a good person, but then part of me is like, well, what if she wins the division?
Yeah, yeah. Because if Felicia wins this fight, that sets her up for a title fight. And that's crazy that she would be, 2 fights in the UFC fighting for a title. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. So okay. So you've assessed Caitlin as an opponent. What I don't want you to give away your game plan, but what have you been working on heavy in this camp so far?
Um, well, so far a lot of it is just getting back to even before I started training camp, a lot of it was just building up confidence and getting hit in the core and like taking body shots because um even when it didn't actually hurt, I was so afraid that it was going to hurt. Because I remember
Yes.
how it sucked, a couple months ago. Um, so a big part of that has just been getting back into shape, and two, being able to go in and take body shots and not being timid or anything, and almost being afraid of them. And so now I think I'm over that.
Yeah. It's got to be rough, man. That's got to be. I bet the first time someone threw a body kick at you, you were like, ah!
Yeah, I found over with my car in the parking lot. Like I don't even know, like even when people would like show them and they wouldn't land them, I'd be like, oh, you're gonna pay for that.
Wow. So I want to deviate just a little bit, Pam. I want to talk to you about the fact that you are a dog lover. Pam Sorenson has all types of dogs. Talk to us about your dogs, Pam. They seem to be a very important part of your life.
Yes, they are. So we have Tank, who is a 12-year-old yellow lab, who just kind of wants to be left alone. We have Doxy. She's a 12-year-old miniature dachshund. And then Molly, who just turned 2, who is a whippet.
Oh my goodness, she's an hilarious dog.
Yeah,
She
she terrorizes everybody. The neighbors, the other dogs, everybody.
she does what to everybody?
She terrorizes everybody. Like she's either she's either at like sleeping, like dead asleep on the couch, or she's going 100 miles an hour and harassing everybody to play with her. And but yeah, there's no in between.
So a whippet takes a lot of you can't just have a whippet. Like a whippet, you have to be someone that's very active to have a dog like that. How does it feel to have to somewhat cater to that dog's whatever that dog wants at the moment? Because if that dog wants to get up and run, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you got to get up and go.
Yeah, well, luckily, like our backyard is fenced in, so we can put her out there, throw her toy for her. But I mean, it helps that well, she won't get up and run with me in the morning because she's not a morning dog. But you know, in the afternoon or in the evening, she'll you know, it's nice to take her for. She'll go for up to like a 5-6 mile run, and it's funny because she can come and do hill sprints with me,
Mm-hmm.
and she will like race me every single time up and down the hill. And I mean, she's way faster than me, so she smokes every time. Even when I cheat,
Mm-hmm.
like try to throw something the other way, she goes and chases it, and I'll start going, and she still beats me. But she can do that forever because she gets like little breaks in between. But going for like a long, slow 6 mile run, then she's like, oh my gosh. And she'll come home and she'll just fall asleep.
Oh man, do you guys follow Pam on social media? Her dogs are everywhere. So Pam, give us a okay. So this is your second shot at the belt. You know, like I'm pretty sure there's a fire after all that you've been through, like you said, in the past year or so. You know, I'm pretty sure that you're probably the most driven and most determined that you ever been. Walk us through like a training day, like a day in the life of Pam when it comes to training getting ready for this fight?
Well, every day at some point in the day, I try to get at least an hour grappling, an hour of striking in. And then I always find time to do like a long, slow run. Like I'll do like a 3, 4, 5 mile like slower paced run, and then I always usually block off an hour or so to do both my lifting and my sprints. So like bare minimum, I try to get all those in.
Yeah, yeah. So Pam, you see this fight. You see, I don't want to. I don't like I said. I don't want to give. I don't want to give away your game plan. But if this fight was to go to the ground, Pam, I mean, you're a very well-rounded fighter, you know. And like you said, that is a hole in Caitlin Young's game is the ground game. Do you feel like you have, you know, that you can take this fight wherever? If this fight stays standing, do you feel comfortable standing and grappling?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate enough where I train with a lot of Muay Thai fighters also, and also
Mm-hmm.
have that like Caitlin has that very traditional Muay Thai um kind of fight style. And so
Mm-hmm.
luckily I have a lot of people who I get that look that she has. That almost having like that little march. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think I'll be prepared wherever it goes. I mean, if it ends up just staying on the feet, I don't think I'll be just fine there.
I think you'll be fine too, Pam. You like the bang.
I do.
So, you know, we're talking Invicta here. You know, Shannon Knapp, you know, she puts on great fights. She puts on fantastic fights. She's doing something really great with Invicta as far as having an all women's league. I mean, that's fantastic. I love women's MMA. I love watching women's MMA. It's some of the most exciting fights that you see is women's MMA. So who do you see? You know, no matter who wins this fight, who do you see as some of the best girls in Invicta right now as far as featherweights, like legit featherweights? Because it seems the only big promotions that really have featherweights is Invicta and Bellator. You know, you have the big fight with Bud and Ruben coming up in Bellator. So who do you see as some more, you know, good potential up and comers in Invicta?
um, now I have to think. Well, there was the gal that Caitlin last fought.
Mm-hmm.
There's Helena if
Mm-hmm.
she does come back at featherweight. You know, and then there's a few girls that they signed that only have a couple of fights. I mean, there's that Audrey Wolf. I
Yep.
Allison Schmidt. I know she just was going through some medical stuff. I'm sure she'll be back. Um, I know there's more. I can't think of names, but But yeah, it was kind of nice. I saw that they signed a bunch of girls from, people with experience like Caitlin down to
Mhm.
people who have like one fight or maybe are even making their pro debut at featherweight. So I mean, they have girls with all sorts of experience levels. I just can't think of their names.
It's okay. It's all good. So Caitlin's on a 3-fight winning streak. She fought twice in 2018. She was off from 2014 to 2018. She fought twice in 2018. And she's fought once. She fought on June 7th against Faith McMahon. I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah.
So she's streaking right now. She's streaking. So what? Tell me, Pam, going into this fight, what is it that you feel you have to do to stop her and win this title?
I think I just have to be willing to change it up. And I mean, the one thing I saw with her face or her now I want to call her face McMahon.
Me too. Me too.
But when she fought Faith, um, and even when she fought King Reina
Yep.
and whoever was in between there,
Sarah,
forget.
Sarah Patterson.
Yes. Granted, that was a quick fight. They seemed to go in and have a game plan, and they weren't willing to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like it looked like maybe Faith had her lead leg kind of chewed up a little bit from the leg kicks, and it's like, well, at some point, do something different.
Yeah.
But it's much easier said than done because everybody has their comfort zone. They have things that they like to do and they're used to doing and they can do without even thinking about it. So I mean, I think I've been in a lot of fights where I've had to change the game plan on the fly, and I'm more than capable of doing it. And I'll probably have to do it against Caitlin because she's been around for a very long time and probably knows
Mm-hmm.
what to expect from me.
Yeah. There's a lot of footage. There's a lot of footage on both of you out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and being that we train down the road from each other.
So it wouldn't be odd at all. So like, okay, let's say you know a week before the fight, you go into the grocery store and you see Caitlin Young in the grocery store. Like, would it be weird or would it be like, hey, what would it be like?
No, I think it'd be just fine. I mean, we're both just fighters. I don't need to be mad at somebody. I don't need to hate them or whatever to fight them. And I know that she's the exact same way. And it's funny because we were actually messaging after her last fight. It was probably like 2 weeks after. And I congratulated her on her fight. We were just chit chatting, and I was like, "Gosh, wouldn't it be crazy if Shannon asked us to fight each other?" And she was like, "Oh, I doubt they do that yet because like I just fought in June. They're not going to want me back in August already." And then like the next week, Shannon had called and she was like, "Hey, so I know you guys are friends, but what do you think about fighting each other?" And we were like, "Oh, well, we are actually already talked about it."
Wow. Wow. But no hesitation. No hesitation, no.
No,
No.
no. It is what it is. It's all business. And I mean, I don't take her wanting to fight me personally, and I know she doesn't take me wanting to fight her personally. It's a great opportunity for both of us.
Yeah, yeah. Pam wants that belt. Pam wants that belt.
Yeah.
The thing, a lot of that's coming around. Like a lot of friends are fighting each other. I know Andrea KGB Lee and Montana De La Rosa were friends and training partners, and they just fought each other in the UFC.
Hmm.
So I mean, you guys know what kind of business you're in. You know what you signed up for. It is what it is. So just I mean, I couldn't punch someone that like a colleague in the face. I couldn't do it. So I know there's some level of weird to it.
Yeah. I mean, fighters are all kind of weird to begin with. I mean,
Like this
and
one meme, the one meme you posted one time, Pam, and that meme has stuck with me forever. It's what it said. It said when people tell you should meet new people, and then it says me, and it was like a cat, like like get away from me, like
yeah, that's
that was the funniest meme.
no, well, that is me. Like, cause I mean, I try to be friendly with people, but I'm just, and it's not that it's fake. It's just I'm always like, okay, I don't know you. Like, I don't, it's weird. I'm not like a I'm not a people person. Like I am, but I'd rather, sit at home by myself with my dogs or hang out with my goon, and I have my very small group of people, and that's who I like.
But you wouldn't think that though. You would think, like from your Octagon interviews and interviews that I've done with you would think you were such a social person. But Pam's like, nah.
Of going out somewhere, absolutely not.
So okay, so let me ask you this then. Since you don't like, you're more of an introverted person. How does it feel when you have cameras like right in your face all the time, like fight week or whatever?
It Well, luckily, fight week, like we go and we do our media day, and it takes a few hours, and then I can go and sit in my hotel room by myself. It works out just fine, and I kind of, if I know I have an event coming up or something where I'm gonna have to be social, meet a lot of new people, I just plan, leave some time to recharge afterwards, and
Yeah. Wow, that's hilarious, Pam. That is hilarious. But so, all right. So moving into let's say we're closer to fight week. When you start your weight cut and all that kind of stuff, do you feel now that you have this huge foreign object removed out of your body? Do you feel like your weight cut's going to be easier? You're going to feel better. You don't have a blood supply going to this mass inside your body. Do you think that things will go a whole lot smoother this time? Because I know you fought as low as bantamweight, and so the cut to featherweight isn't quite that bad, if any at all. How do you feel it's going to go this time around?
it'll be interesting because I was out for so long, my weight started a little bit higher than it normally would for a featherweight fight. And so yeah, it's nice to have that mass out of there, but at the same time, I also lost an ovary, and
Yeah.
so the way that the doctor described it is that the one ovary will take over for the missing one, but it takes a year and a half for it to get the hang of things. So I mean, my hormones are a little
Mm.
crazy side. So that's the only thing that I could see maybe playing into it in a negative way is, they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
So let me tell all the press, all the media, all the Invicta officials, just leave Pam alone. Like, just let her do
Yeah,
what she has to do and let her go.
I'm like a hormonal teenager. I'll be like having a fit, like leave me alone.
I can see Pam at weigh-ins, like weighing in with just this look on her face, like, ugh.
Yeah, I'll have my resting bitch face.
Yes. So how much? So how much weight? Weight cutting is becoming a thing. Like, people are really talking about weight cutting right now, and people are praising One Fighting Championship for not doing weight cuts. Um, How do you feel about something like that? And how much weight do you cut for a featherweight fight?
For a featherweight fight, I really don't. I usually don't cut a whole lot of weight. I mean, I think when I fought Felicia, I had maybe 4 or 5 pounds to cut, and so that wasn't bad at all. Um, I mean, I have cut a lot more. I have had to cut, 10, 15 pounds the week of, and it takes a toll on your body, and you might be okay during the fight, but then afterwards, like, it's crazy. I used to, especially when I fought at bantamweight, I
Hmm.
cut water weight and I'd be fine come fight day, and then after the fight, I would just balloon up. Like I
Yeah.
would 20, 25 pounds, and I'd just be full of water. Like my body wouldn't let anything go. It was so uncomfortable, and I was like, man, like I think this is maybe my body's way of saying like, hey, don't do that. We don't like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I get where some people are against cutting weight and whatnot, but people are always going to do it. They're always going to find a way to do it to try and have an advantage. And, they're going to have an advantage in size, but they're going to be drained. They might be drained a little bit for their fight. So, I figured we're all adults, we're professionals, do what you got to do. And
Yeah.
I, yeah.
Oh, okay. So a big weekend for WMMA. I mean, you have, greatest of all time, Amanda Nunes. That's what some people are calling her. Versus the former champion Holly Holm, who I personally don't think should be fighting for a title. I really don't think Holly's in line for that, but the UFC is going to do what the UFC has to do anyways. just to have eyes on it. So, what is your thoughts and opinions on and predictions for this fight?
Oh man. So I don't know. I agree that Holly probably shouldn't be fighting for a title, being that, she's lost a few of her I don't know, like 3 of her last 5 or 3
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, it hasn't been great.
4 of her last
But
6.
4 of her last 6. But I
Yeah.
mean, they were to Misha Tate, the Valentina Shevchenko, Cyborg, and
Jermaine.
Jermaine, which yeah, that one could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't necessarily think that that's the fight that should have happened. I would have rather have seen her fight Aspen Ladd like she was originally scheduled to.
Yeah, me too.
But stylistically, I think it's a really good matchup between Amanda Nunes, because Amanda Nunes, I mean, it's almost like Ronda Rousey, where she likes to come just charging at people, swinging for the fences. I
Yeah.
mean, she's swinging instead of grabbing for a clinch like Ronda. But I mean, Holly does really well when people chase her.
Yeah.
So it could be I don't know. I think Holly Holm has a better chance than some people are giving her.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I feel like Amanda Nunes is really strong at what she does, but it's really kind of just throwing power shots. Her boxing is really really good. I feel like if it, but I want to say I feel like Holly will outmove her, but then I
Yeah.
think about the second Valentina Shevchenko fight, and I'm just like, Amanda Nunes can move too. Like Amanda Nunes can stand and strike and be technical as well. So it's kind of like really like a toss up. I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah,
It's strange.
it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen, but I mean, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Holly.
Okay, all right. So Pam Bam thinks Holly's gonna be the new champion. All right.
I I think she will.
So what's your thoughts on Olga Rubin versus Julia Budd?
um that'll be a really good fight too. I mean, I really like Olga. I honestly don't know all that much about Julia. I've watched some of her fights. But I talk to Olga every once in a while, and she's a really nice lady. So
Yeah.
like part of me is like, I like her. I want her to win. But when you look at styles, Julia's a really good kickboxer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she's got really clean technique. And Olga's a little more wild, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't. I'm just gonna leave that one.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
really like Olga, so
Well, guys, we ain't gonna hold Pam for too much longer. Just wanted to get Pam on here, get Pam to talking before her championship Invicta featherweight title fight. I cannot wait to see this fight. So I know you're friends, Pam. I know you're friends, but give me your message to Caitlin Young.
I don't know. I just think we're both good strikers. We both like to bang. We always show up to fight, and I think it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a damn good one. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
damn good one, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. So give a shout out to your coaches, your sponsors, and anyone that you want to speak to, anyone you want to shout out. The floor is yours, Pam.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on. And
Absolutely.
and then all my coaches, Coach Ben, Coach Chris, Mauricio, all my training partners over at the Cellar Gym. Um, I absolutely couldn't have came back without them. They kind of like pushed me when I needed a little push,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't let me push when I shouldn't. So, I mean, coming back from surgery, I mean, I absolutely couldn't have done it without them, without the support of my parents, my goon, Tom. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
just great. And then, obviously all my sponsors. I have Bourbon and Bow Salon, Minnesota Motorsports, Fighter Alias. Yeah. So yeah, everybody's been so supportive, and I probably should thank a lot of people, but I can't list them all off.
Hey, it is what it is, Pam. I'm just happy to have you on. I'm happy you were able to make time, and I'm excited to see you fight for the belt again. I will definitely be watching you live, and I will be definitely cheering your name with a Corona in my hand.
Well,
So we'll have to get a post. We'll have to get a post fight. We'll have to definitely get a post fight when you are the new champion.
yes, yes, we absolutely will.
Well, Pam, before I let you go, let me get the drop. I want to hear this is Pam Bam Sorensen, and you are live with No Filter MMA. You can do it, Pam.
Do you remember when we did this last time?
You can do it, Pam.
I'm not a fighter because I'm smart. Tell me what to say one more time.
I want to hear this is Pam Bam Sorensen, and you are live with No Filter MMA.
All right, this is Pam Bam Sorensen, and you are live with No Filter MMA.
We got it. We got it. We got it. All right, Pam. One try. Lots of preparation, but one try. We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. All right, guys. This is your boy BJ back with another interview. You guys go follow Pam Bam Sorensen on Facebook. You can follow her on Instagram and Twitter. I want you guys to hit that Jesus Christ. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if you haven't already, comment, and we are out.